YouTube, how are you now? Sean here from the EDC Den. Welcome back to the channel, one and all. Ladies and gentlemen, today I've got a very important EDC Den reminder for you all. The Spyderco Tenacious is still awesome. Alright, so what do I mean by that? Well, the Spyderco Tenacious, it's a model that's been around for ages, going back to the 90s. I had one many years ago when I started collecting Spydercos. I believe it was my first Spyderco, and I enjoyed that for a few years, and I ended up gifting it to a friend. But it really is a great entry-level Spyderco knife, and many of us have had them come and go in our collection. I decided to give the Tenacious a second chance here, about 12 years after owning my first one, and I went with the most unique or different looking variation that I could find, and that was with these lightweight scales, the fully blacked out blade and hardware, and then the fully serrated edge. So, safe to say this isn't your granddaddy's Tenacious. Although none of our granddaddies probably have a Tenacious, so let's say this isn't your older cousin's Tenacious. The look of this Tenacious actually really appeals to me compared to the first one with the satin blade and the satin liners, having everything blacked out, and then the fully serrated edge, these FRN scales. Yeah, it makes it look like a totally different knife, still a great knife and still a very great platform. So let's talk about that a little bit. I think the first thing that we should address is the confusing name. This is called the Spyderco Tenacious Lightweight because it features these lightweight FRN scales compared to the G10 that it usually comes with. But everything else is the same. It still has the same liners, the same size blade and all that. So the weight of this knife really didn't change much. It only changed by 0.3 of an ounce. So I think this was originally about 3.7 ounces and now we're down to 3.4. It's a nice little weight saving, but I really don't think they should have called this the lightweight. I think that's a little bit misleading. Just go ahead and call this the Spyderco Tenacious FRN. That would be more accurate. Anyway, that's just a little minor thing to point out. Ultimately, it is nice to have that little 0.3 of an ounce in savings. You can feel it just a little bit, but probably not noticeable too much in the pocket over the course of your day. So let's take a little walk around the knife here and then we'll do some size comparisons. Alright, so up front here on the blade, we've got a budget steel 8CR13 MOV. That's the same steel that the Tenacious has always used. We've got the blacked out blade. This coating is just a little bit different than what you see on the Shamans and the Paramilitary 2s. I'll show that in a second. This one has a little bit more shine to it, and the others are a little bit more muted or a little bit more matte. This one still looks good. It's not shiny by any means, but it's just got a little bit of a gloss. There's a good look at the serrations there. Really, really well done. Spyderco serrations are absolutely my favorite in the biz. The tip on this guy, it's pretty good. It's not as needle sharp as some of my other. You can see a little bit of missing paint there. The tip isn't as sharp as some of my other Spydercos, but still plenty sharp. Even this little unserrated portion of blade is extremely sharp. And the rest of the blade is absolutely awesome. Super, super sharp. The serrations work amazingly well. We've got jimping well placed here for your thumb. Nice big opening hole. Moving on to the handle, not too much to talk about. This is their budget handle material, FRN. Super grippy, nice and lightweight. Here we've got the steel liners. I think they maybe could have saved some weight if they had these nested. I think the nested liners, when they're placed inside the scales, might be a little bit thinner than these, so that could have been a better weight saving method there. But they are milled out in the middle there that you can see, just as the original Tenacious. All the blacked out hardware looks really great on this knife. Pocket clip is 4 position. Sits nicely on the little smooth part so you're not tearing apart your pants when you're putting it in and pulling it out. For my medium-sized hands, this handle fits really well, very comfortable. No real hot spots to report there. Well-placed jimping. Very easy to operate with one hand. All kinds of ways to open and close these Spydercos, as we all know. This knife features a liner lock, which you can see is nicely engaged there. So where might you see this knife fitting into your collection or into your EDC carry rotation? Well, if you're just getting into the knife hobby and you want to try Spyderco knife, the Tenacious is a fantastic platform to get you started with Spyderco. It features a lot of things that you're going to find on many Spyderco knives, so you can see what you like and what you don't like about it. You can check out these lightweight FRN handles. If you've never had a spider hole, that's something new. It's a really great way to open a knife. All the different edges, whether it's a blacked out blade or a plain edge or serrated or combo, the pocket clips that go in different positions. There's just all kinds of great features about this Spyderco Tenacious that will help you determine what Spyderco to get next time you're going to spend a little bit more money on a knife, since this is one of their, I wouldn't say it's a budget knife, because to me, that $70 Canadian range, maybe $50 American, that's still a pretty penny in my eyes. So I won't call it budget, but I'll call it entry level for Spyderco. It's a very nice full-size knife that is at their entry level price due to the materials and where it's made, which is in China. Even if you're not new to collecting knives, or even if you have many Spydercos in your collection, I still think this has a place in your collection and in your pocket. Again, the entry level price make this really easy to just put in the pocket or lend out to a friend. You don't have to worry about it being damaged or lost. And it's going to save the life edge of some of your more expensive knives. For example, I have this Spyderco Shaman, very similar looking knife, as you can see, from a blade perspective, I guess. But the difference in price is night and day. You could probably have about 4 of these for the price of this. So why not invest the extra $50 if you can find one of these on sale or so? That's just going to help extend the life of your more expensive knives that you may not want to use every single day. So while it's out, I think that's a good size comparison too, right there. I mean, this is like a little shaman killer. Why would you even get this knife? All blacked out, all serrated. Trying to line up the first serrations there. And you can see that the Tenacious is has about the same blade length. If we line up the handles, okay, then you see you lose a little bit of reach there with the Tenacious. Overall, it's a smaller knife. The weight on this one is 5.1 or 5.2 ounces, and the weight on this one is, I believe, 3.7. Okay, I'll give you guys a look next to the Paramilitary 2. Again, a much more expensive knife with some more premium materials, but as far as the blade is concerned, a lot of similarities here. Of course, serrated versus non-serrated, but you get the idea. It's a leaf-shaped blade around the same size, but at a much different price point. And one more to compare here is the Spyderco Endura. More of a larger but slimmer knife there. So there we have it, folks, the Spyderco Tenacious Lightweight in all black and serrated. Pretty cool version of this classic platform. So maybe this video will encourage some people to check out the Tenacious, or perhaps revisit the Tenacious. Just a great platform, and I'm really liking this all blacked out lightweight model with the serrated edge. Very cool. Happy to have this one. Alright guys, thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you real soon in the next video. Take care.